What's good, y'all? Back with another video, and as you see by the title, we're gonna be talking about something that I haven't talked about on this channel yet, and that is the Sony PSP. As y'all know, we've been doing a lot of talking about the PlayStation Vita, and I'm gonna be honest, you could essentially do anything on a PS Vita that a PSP could do and more. So what's the reason why we're talking about a PSP today? And there's a couple elements of why I'm gonna be talking about it. One is just the pure nostalgia of the Sony PSP. I mean, what a time it was when this came out in 2006. I was only 2 years old. I believe it came out in 06. If it came out in 05, I'm sorry, but it was around that time, and I was only 1, 2, 3 years old at that time period, so I didn't really get to experience it. I remember my older brother had a PSP and he used to never let me touch it, but it was all good because I had my handy dandy, Nintendo DS, so I was happy with that at the time. But now that I'm older and I really appreciate and love PlayStation and all their IPs, I was like, let me go back and see what I could do on a Sony PSP. But yeah, y'all know me, I'm not crazy for the long intro, so let's not waste too much time and hop into the video. So hopping into it, I was really surprised on how easy it was to mod my Sony PSP. It was really easy. It took me anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes max, and as you see, we have this awesome custom theme, which I think some of the PSP themes are some of the best in the handheld game. But hopping into it, what makes the PSP so special is the library. I love the PSP games. There's so many great games on this system. One that I definitely grew up with is GTA Vice City Stories. This game was just, I don't know, it was just fun. From the world, from the soundtrack, even to the characters, it was all just a good time. And growing up, I was obviously young. I wasn't really supposed to be playing GTA games, so it felt kind of, that adrenaline rush of playing this game and sneaking it away from my parents was actually pretty fun. And yeah, it's just some good memories. And of course, on my PSP, we have classics like Daxter, which is one of my favorites on the PSP as well. But I am a huge Tony Hawk fan. If you don't know, you know. So I had to hop on this Tony Hawk Underground 2, the PSP version. I played this a ton on the PS2 as well as Underground 1, but I never really touched the PSP one too much. So having the opportunity to go back on my modded PSP and go back and play some of these games that I wasn't able to enjoy growing up is honestly an awesome feeling. And of course, with the PSP, we couldn't stop at just the PSP games. We had to download some PS1 games as well. And as you know, there's a ton of great PS1 games, and it's really simple to get these on your PSP. Like I said, with the modding, it's really simple. If you modded a Vita or 3DS, this will be a walk in the park. It honestly, like I said, it took me 10 to 15 minutes, and the ability to have a portable PS1 will always impress me. I don't care, I know it's 2023, but the way that you could just walk out your house, be at a dentist appointment, and pull out classic PS1 Crash Bandicoot is just awesome to see. Today, we do have a sponsorship by Cloner Alliance, and we are talking about this capture card, which is amazing. As you see on the box, it says the plug and play premium video game capture gear, which essentially is a plug and play capture card, and it's 1080p 60 frames, has very low latency, and you can pretty much do everything that something like an Elgato will be able to do. And giving a look at the back, it says that you can pretty much use any platform, so anything you're trying to stream on, you could use this bad boy on that. Yeah, it's a very compact and simple look of a capture card. It's very simple and easy to go ahead and figure out. On one side, you have line out, mic, and line in, as well as even a C port if you're using that. On the other side, you have an in and out port for your HDMI cable, so you can go ahead and capture whatever device you're trying to capture. And it's really that simple, and it also comes with multiple adapters as well as multiple cables, so whatever device you're using, just know you'll be covered by Cloner Alliance and this product. But all around, I'm happy with this product, and I'll go ahead and leave all their information in the description, but let's hop back into the video. We couldn't just stop at Crash Bandicoot. I had some other bangers on this PSP, so we had to hop into Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, my favorite Resident Evil game, because who doesn't love Nemesis? And yeah, as you see, it looks pretty solid on the PSP. I'm sure there's a mod or some type of little thing that you could do on the PSP to make it full screen. I'm new to the PSP, as you know. This is my video, just me being introduced to the PSP and modding it, so I'm sure there's a way that you could stretch it to full screen, which I would definitely be looking into. And that's definitely something I want on my system, because this ratio of my PS1 games is definitely not going to do it for me. And I will be honest, playing a Resident Evil game on the PSP is not the easiest with the tank controls and the lack of the analog stick, because obviously this is a PS1 game that didn't have that analog stick feature. But hey, it's still cool just to have a system that you can play the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on anywhere you go. And honestly, that pretty much applies to any PS1 classic that you're trying to play. Next thing I want to talk about is the price of PSPs. It honestly surprised me how cheap these bad boys are. If you look at today's market, you can get a PSP pretty easily from anywhere from $40 to $60. It's really that simple. It's not too expensive. So if you're looking for a handheld to get into that you want to mod for the first time, a PSP is definitely a good option, because things like the PlayStation Vita is definitely, you know, triple the price of a PSP. So if you are a little antsy and scared to hop into modding your first handheld, I think a PSP is a great one to go with. And there's a ton of cool things you could do on here, and it's very simple to mod. So there's really no, you know, con to getting a PSP in 2023. Something I want to mention about my PSP in specific is that this thing doesn't actually work with UMDs. This UMD drive doesn't work anymore. So me modding this system actually kept this PSP alive and going. If I didn't mod it, I'll be stuck, because you can't really buy digital games on the PSP anymore. And yeah, UMDs don't work on here. So modding it allows me to go ahead and still enjoy this PSP to the fullest. And when it comes to storage, it's pretty simple. All you need is a Memory Stick Pro Duo compatible micro SD adapter, which is pretty simple. They go for about $5, as well as a micro SD like any other system. And you put it together, put it in your PSP. Once you format it, it's really as simple as that. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the PSP. And I'm definitely excited to dive deeper into this handheld, you know, modding it, doing different things to it. Let me know in the comments, will y'all be interested in more PSP videos? I could really pimp this thing out and do like an ultimate modded PSP, or I don't know, just do some cool things. I really have to look into it. I don't really know all of the capabilities of the PSP when it comes to modding, so I'm definitely interested to see what I could do. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, and like I said, make sure to let me know in the comments if y'all want more PSP videos. And y'all already know, hit that like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. I really appreciate all the support y'all been given, and as always, I'll see y'all next time.